All right, it's a beautiful good morning to everyone out there. Thank you for staying tuned to Landslide News. We're always giving you every insight into all political issues. The left, the right, the height, everywhere. You know, that's why we are News Insight on Landslide News. Okafo, you're grinning, man. And Philip is blacking and bluing.
Whatever it is.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
All right, Jonathan, since his entrance or his rumored entrance into the political arena in Nigeria, it has thrown many things upside down, from the ADC to Peter Obi and to the ruling government. There's not been so much ease in the political atmosphere, but it looks as if Jonathan is considering withdrawing from this race. I would never have wanted him to withdraw. What do you think?
Yeah, the pressures are there from both sides. And when the pressures are there from both sides, people like Bala Mohammed wants him to run. People like Dasuki wants him to run. People like Jerry Ghana wants him to run.
Lamido.
Lamido, the former governor of Jigawa State, wants him to run. A lot of them wants him to run. They do not just want him to run only by what people are saying, simply only to fulfill the equation of having a Southern president fulfill their 4 years. If you look at it in details, they think that his performance as a president was better, both in balancing and of appointments and in distribution of wealth across the nation and acceptance of everybody into different tiers of government. They think it's better. Now look at the economic index. Jonathan was the president when Nigeria was having the biggest economy in Africa. As at that time, the day he left, Nigeria was the third fastest growing economy in the entire whole world. And if you look at what we used to campaign or say he didn't perform or to rate him badly as at that time, it was insecurity and maybe corruption. But let's look at those two index. It has been proven now that the corruption we have today, even through Buhari time, is like times 10. Even times 100 magnified than what we have during Jonathan's time. And looking at insecurity, it was scarcely around Borno and remember Chibok girls and all that, and a few areas of Yola, just a few 3 northeastern states at that time. And it is not like it's wide nation spread, but now we have insecurity all over Nigeria. Our farmers can't go to farm. You can't travel without the fear of being kidnapped. Somebody used to say that when they ask you what is the cost of airfare from Lagos to Abuja, you say you don't know the cost of airfare until you use the alternative cost, and you'll be kidnapped, and you now know the cost of airfare. So when you begin to think of things like that, these people have the right and reason to pressure him. But looking at it again, he is from South. Tinubu is from South. And a lot of Southern, do I use the word political actors, are now realigning governors, senators, realigning with Asiwaju. Even it's reported that government Bomupolo, popularly known as Tompolo, was sent out to meet Jonathan, also to appeal to him to not run against his certain brothers. But I have always said Nigerians were all brothers. The reason, if we keep looking at things like that, nobody's going to run against each other. So democracy will die, because both somebody from Borno, somebody from Bayelsa, somebody from Delta, we are all brothers. The idea is, if we must preserve democracy, somebody has to run against the incumbent. And also looking at international support, there are reports that America are at peace with Jonathan's government more than what we have today.
Except Obama.
Insecurity all over, maybe except Obama, you understand. So the support of Donald Trump might be because himself has the similar case. He served one tenure, lost, ousted, and came back. Same thing in Ghana. John Mahama, was president, lost, and also came back again. So people like that are supporting him from that international sense. Say, you can do it again. You can come and be the face of Nigerian politics once again.
Okay, all right. Philip, since Jonathan, there's always a stock in trade of this present administration. I've never seen it before. I'm not too old, but I mean, 19 '93, I was well aware of everything. And since we came back in 1999, the opposition, there's always been an opposition, but this particular government doesn't love opposition. I don't know why. But also, since Jonathan said he was going to run, if you notice,
No, he has not said.
it's alleged that he was going to run. Yeah. If you noticed, his name has been removed from the delegation going to Cote d'Ivoire as African, what's it called, West African monitoring team. And not only that, he has also been, investigations are coming out for the Abuja CCTV camera deployment and all that. So all arsenals are, or the light is shining on him from this government, and all that. Is it the best?
Thank you very much. You see, when it was stated that this government, it's doing everything possible to make a Nigeria one-party state, they came out vehemently to deny that the head of the government today, as it were, is a Democrat, is somebody who fought for the return of Nigeria to civil rule when we're under military rule, that they cannot afford to, bring Nigeria into such situation. But the indices are clear everywhere. Over the weekend, El-Rufai released a statement. The video is all over in the internet, how the NSA, the person of Nehru Badu and others, are trying to use the ICPC to implicate him, and they failed to do that. Why do I have to go to that route? You're talking about the characteristics of this present government, how they try to, cajole all opposition, either to support them or to silence them permanently. Now, talking about Jonathan. Jonathan has been the head of the, African Electoral Monitoring Team for a very long time, ECOWAS.
Since he left government.
Since he left government. And the world had always been comfortable with his report. But since the rumor emanated that Jonathan may likely, throw himself in the ring for 2027, the government has been very comfortable. He spoke about how Tompolo has been drafted to go to him to either to appeal or to warn him not to run because he will not get the support of his immediate, environment and all of that. And then all of a sudden, after 10 years, the House of Reps just woke up that there was a CCTV, China contract that was awarded for at the tune of $450 million that either he was not executed or was poorly executed, and that they want to probe and know how.
That was since 2010.
Yes, they want to find out what transpired. All this was geared towards, ensuring that Jonathan is discouraged from accepting the pressure and the call from where many Nigerians asking him to come back to steer the economy out of the wood. But that being said, this is also a political era. Everybody played the politics. It is true that there are a lot of pressure on both sides, like he said, those who want him to run. And it is not from both sides, from those who want it to, and from the government to ensure that it's either he cajole or he's forced out of the race, not for him not to run. Those who are also wanting Jonathan to run, they are not men meat. They also have their own strategy. This is what we're having in the news to me, that Jonathan is considering, accepting or refusing the pressure and the call for him to run. Okay. That he will make a statement in no distant time.
Okay, all right. Now, Okafor, if we look at it very well, it's like one is not running, one is running, so it may favor the other person.
Yeah.
How does it favor Peter Obi?
Yeah, exactly. That's the combination of the entire thing. If you see obedience movement, they are more of younger people and a few politicians who are tired or were tired of Nigeria as of 2023 and decided no matter what it means, let's try out with Peter Obi, even though there was no structure. And these people only believe in one thing: the presidency where Obi, a candidacy where Obi is the presidential candidate. That's what they believe in. That Obi is going to be VP to Atiku is not attractive to them. The Obi is going to be a coordinating minister under Jonathan. It's also not attractive to them. But at the end of the day, if Obi is at the forefront, should Jonathan decide to run, should Jonathan decide to run eventually, because what he's doing now is the best thing for him to do, is to keep everybody quiet and allow people fool themselves or predict whatever they want to predict. If he chooses to run, certainly Obi would want to work with him. It was Jonathan that appointed him to SEC one time to be the chairman. They have been working together in some other front, and they have met recently, which is one of the things that stimulated APC to think, to start running helter-skelter. It's like, this thing is becoming true. No matter what APC is churning out there, they are G3 about Jonathan's candidacy.
But
Their obedience in some form would be happy if for any reason Jonathan decides to
not to run.
But what they are also not looking at is the how do I call it, the national chance of winning. Because one thing is to run, another thing is to win. We saw what happened in 2023, but we are not hopeful. We are now hopeful that INEC might put a very transparent process in place, such that nobody needs to argue that I am not bad.
But that's still a long way to go.
It's a long way to go.
But let me also come back to you.
Yeah.
Now, I read in a particular book that said you are never really prepared for leadership.
Yeah.
But on ground, you need to also be prepared for leadership.
Yeah.
Do you think Obi is prepared for Nigerian leadership?
Well,
because from what we have seen of him right now, the obedient may not like this, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
From what we have seen right now, administratively, structure, Nigeria is very diverse, multi-ethnic, multicultural. I mean, everything is Obi ready.
There are different kind of leadership styles. Some are very, very good with administrative and structural kind of leadership. Some are very, very good with court-like leadership. Some are just impromptu, kind of leadership. If you notice somebody like Trump, it doesn't function well by a known norm.
Yes.
He just do
all
things,
the normal norm.
He just do things out of the blue, and people that like him follow suit.
Yes.
And these are what we call like court-like followership. Yes. Even though they kill somebody, their followers are going to say, "Oh, what they are doing is right." Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's about people. If people you are leading decide to follow you that way, you are going to continue to be what you are. What you are that made you to magnetize them, it's difficult to change it. You may not want to change it. But when you now come to another person who have a different kind of leadership, Jonathan is somebody that believes in institution. People pushed him all over to change their guy. He said, no.
I'll give him a chance.
He said, I'll give him a chance. All right. He lost. And he said, no, I'm going.
All right. Now, we see Obi, Jonathan. Now, are we going to see them collaborate even if Jonathan doesn't run?
It's most likely that will happen, but I still believe sincerely that it's too early, to call the result whether Jonathan will run or not. If you look at all that is in the media, it's all speculation. Yes, they may say people who are close to him that may have said that he will soon make a categorical statement to dismiss or not to. These are all speculations. But from all indices, Jonathan and Obi, they are at home. In fact, all well-meaning Nigerians who believe in true democracy, who believe in good governance for this country, they seems to be on the same platform. Erufai, that is seems to be on the extreme side, seems to have also come to this extreme end for him to have been having meeting with Peter Obi. It shows that either Obi or Jonathan, if the opposition was zero in either of them in 2027, I don't see Jonathan working at cross purpose with Obi if Obi is the candidate. Neither the other way that Obi working at cross purpose with Jonathan if Jonathan is the candidate. So what it means is that, yes, the APC government is aware that the Nigerian people are tired with their style. What they are trying to do, in essence, is to ensure that the Nigerian people can never be together. So they are trying to sow seed of discord in everywhere. It's like the Tower of Babel, so that they would
change the language.
We are not in unison, in this case.
But let me see hunky down on this. Now, we've seen Jonathan govern this country for close to 6 years as president. We've seen Jonathan stay aligned a lot with the old guard. Obi has a traction of the one to take over the new guard. Jonathan, if he comes in to run, for example, and he makes it to the presidency, will it be any kind of inculcating the younger generation into his government?
You know, Okafor has said it here over and over that the bulk of the obedience also believe in Jonathan. The truth is that both of them had the same base. You know, what you see as the obedient that are rooting for Obi today, they are offshoot of, Jonathan. Jonathan was a bridge between the old and the young, even in his day as a government. Yes, he has the old people because he's a man who believes in African tradition. He respects the elders and he builds the younger one. If you look at his cabinet, there you see people, a lot of young persons. E.g., the former president of the African Development Bank, as at the time he was the minister under Jonathan, and Agaga, they were young men.
They were heads of agencies.
You understand? So it's a bridge. So when you talk about whether, yes, that's what Jonathan is known for. That's one thing that makes him to be successful. He bring in young blood and old blood to stabilize the system. He balance it up. And if he happen to run and become president, that's what he will do. And that's how you can stabilize the Nigerian government and the economy. Because this technology that is in the blood of the young people, they want to do everything that they go, but the older one will slow them down and put them. So yes, this technology is good, but this is how you apply it so that we can get the desired result. That's what it will stand for.
Okafor, in closing, for the past 10 years, we have seen the old guard still manning the Nigerian system, from economy to whatever it is in Nigeria. Just a little way off, if you will advise this present government, what will you advise them?
Well,
it's way off of what we are discussing.
It is sincerely between now and which is almost going to be impossible.
Yes.
The time is fast running
because we
should forget about focusing on this alignment with the camped domino governors and senators. They are not going to do too much good to Asiwaju. I can authoritatively tell you. He's a president. He's a non-politician. A politician. He knows what he's doing. He has the mathematics, but it's not going to do too much for him. Let him concentrate on governance, such that in 2027, God giving all of us life, that he's not bringing up anybody to run, that he wants to run. Nigeria will look at his record. These decampees, they are not going to do much for him. That's on the aspect of getting to integrate younger ones. I am an advocate of getting younger people to be in place, but we don't have absolute results that the younger people are going to deliver. Yahya Bello is a very young man, almost our age. So, and he didn't do very spectacular.
But let me also tell you something before I close it up. Most of the agencies and ministries that we have today, I can bet you, because of their lack of performance, you can hardly mention ministers in a lot of places, because all of them are people that are not bringing something on board. I wish you can reply to that, but I will not allow you because the time is gone. Thank you. We'll be right back.